welcome back to the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We are of course going to be trading NQ futures again with the PolarityATI machine learning update. We're going to be starting by arming both inside of trend mode here. We're doing that because of the large amount of movement we've been getting in the upward direction. You can see that delta and price has remained correlated regardless of any movement here. So that's a very, very strong indicator that we're going to be in trend there. All we're going to need to be looking out for is change in delta at this moment, and if price drops below the lowest or the highest grain level that we have automatically marked by the Analytica chart 4. We're just going to be leaving it in armed both until then, and we'll see if we can get into some trades. Unfortunately, we did end up missing out on that nice little upward movement, but we can see if we can get back in the game even though we're a little bit late. We should get filled there short here. You can see that we're going to maintain that by arming it in both directions again, regardless of whether or not we win or lose this trade. By rearming it in both directions, that's going to maintain that automation aspect, so we're queuing up the next trade. We have the strategy automatically disarm itself after entering each trade, and that's just intended behavior to prevent huge volatility spikes, wiping out accounts and whatnot if that were to happen. Unfortunately there we end up losing our first trade of the day. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I definitely think that we can pull it back together here. To answer your question, Neologic, I am using market orders for my entries and my take profit and my stop loss. So all of my orders are market orders. Also, guys, gotta show my executions window here so you can see that these my execution log. Doesn't look like the market's moving too fast today, but we'll see. To answer your question, it is appropriate to move your take profit mid-trade. That won't mess with the machine learning, so feel free to move around your take profit or stop loss as much as you want once you're inside of a trade. To answer your question, the imbalance ratio is different between AC and polarity because of the machine learning update. The machine learning update does not continuously update shown imbalances, as that would be a little bit confusing to track if you were trying to do analysis on the chart, but it does so for polarity. So that's why that they're different. Looks like we finally got filled here. It's a long fill. We just got that auto target chase there, or sorry, stop chase there. So you can see our losses are now significantly smaller than our gains if we were to lose this trade, which we unfortunately do. So that's going to put us down back to 663.52. Then we just get filled long here once again. You can see here we're definitely going to be arming it into regression mode at this point. Unfortunately, that is our third loss of the day, putting us down to 992.78. Looks like here we get filled short. Going to be rearming it in both directions once again. Hopefully we win our first trade of the day. There we go. So it's going to be our first win of the day, bringing us down to an only 522 loss. To answer your question, Racha, you're asking, should we use PolarityATI or ML for trading? Is it mandatory to go for training mode with ML before using PolarityATI? To answer your question, no, it is not mandatory to go for training mode with ML before using PolarityATI. And the PolarityATI is machine learning. So we have a machine learning module that's integrated into PolarityATI. So it's a little bit difficult to answer your question in the way that you're describing, but you would just simply use polarity like you would normally, and if you would just use the prepackaged model. We may need to switch into trend here, but we'll see if we actually continue this breakout. Yes, I am in optimized mode. You actually can't use the heuristic parameter optimization in training mode. You do need to be in optimized mode for that to be on. Also, if your guys' heuristic parameter optimization is turning off automatically, you do need to add the ADX indicator to your chart if that's an issue. Looks like there we just got filled long. Hopefully we can get enough movement here to get us filled on this one. There we go. There's our third one of the day. We're now almost back to 0. To answer your question, James, you can use this with TopStep, but you can't use it with Quantower. So TopStep does offer the ability to use NinjaTrader as your platform, which is our only supported platform. So unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have Quantower support. So sorry about that. Looks like we just got filled long there. There we go. Now we're finally in the green for today. Also, if you're wondering why I don't have indicators on my chart, I just don't like to look at them. I don't use them in my analysis, so I have them hidden. Just because having a bunch of indicators on my chart that I don't even look at and they're just being used by the machine learning to optimize in the background doesn't really do me much good. Hey Shivsham, if you're getting good results over the last 2 days with a high RSME and a pretty moderate R2 squared, I don't see any reason to stop using that. Basically, all those numbers mean is that how good your model is at predicting the non-dependent variable. So it's not necessarily the #1 indicator of success. I mean, my R squared and RSME are not necessarily optimal either. So I wouldn't focus specifically on getting that to the highest/lowest amount possible there. So it's actually not as important as you may think, especially if you are seeing that you're actually being successful with your current settings. Hey Box, not totally sure what you mean by the market is trending. The market is most definitely not trending right now. We are in a very quite obvious range at the moment, at least, unless we're looking at a different chart here. Make sure that you are on the March contract, and I don't really know what the December contract's doing right now, but this is a very textbook regression zone here. Daniel says, hi Connor, just wanted to shout out for Zach. He helped me resolve the disappearing button about adding the ADX. What's important to share is he was emailing me late last night when the young man should have been asleep. His hard work is much appreciated. Thank you, Daniel. I'll pass that on to Zach. I'm sure he will appreciate those words of kindness because it does get quite overwhelming sometimes, especially with it's finals week for him right now. So I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Looks like we just got filled short there. Awesome, up to 15.92. Definitely strong, coming out strong from when we first started here, unfortunately. Starting the bat off with those 3 losses in a row, which wasn't fun, but looks like we've pulled back some ground. Also, if you guys are getting any issues with number of trades filled, like it not being sensitive enough or it's being way too sensitive, we are pushing out a update for that very soon, which is going to clamp those values and make sure that they are filtered to the point where that's not going to happen. This individual is asking, how hard does this push your PC hardware? I just pulled up my task manager there to see my usage statistics, and I do have a pretty powerful machine for this, but it is less than 600 megabytes of RAM total, and my CPU usage is less than 10%. So generally not going to be seeing a very huge hardware strain. When you're training the model, it might take a little bit longer if your hardware is pretty weak, but you shouldn't see any issues with actual usage when you're actually trading the strategy. Hey there, if your heuristic parameter button keeps on turning off, make sure you have an ADX on your chart. You can see here we're not getting really into any trades. It's been kind of a while, but that's just due to the volatility that we've not seen. Yes, ADX is an indicator. Also, guys, we are working on education on exactly how you should train the machine learning module, but of course, everything is going to be in the included PDF guidebook, the second guidebook, the machine learning specific guidebook, so that is there for those who wish to read, but we are working on videos on that. It's just that we can't really release those until it's out of beta because UI things are going to change, and we've seen a lot of confusion just from users who on the installation videos who've seen maybe a little bit of a renaming from a couple of settings. So we want to make sure that we have everything set in stone in terms of what the UI is going to look like to reduce as much confusion as possible, so we aren't getting confused users asking about those changed indicator values or names. So that's what the wait is about. We're just making sure everything's in stone. You can see here we're actually going to be switching it into trend at this point. Although we do have this previous level over here, we're not going to be considering that just due to the very strong correlated delta we've been getting. And due to the fact that this green level above price currently is a polarity marked level and not an AC4 plus one, meaning it didn't use order flow to derive that level. You can see here that we actually got filled long, and looks like we're about to get filled pretty quickly on that one. May have spoke too soon. But we are above our entry price, and we did get that auto chase triggered, so that's always nice. And there we go. There is a win for us, putting us up to 2,000 on the day. Hey Taj, I do appreciate that bug report. I will definitely forward that to our developers regarding how that gets corrupted. So, thank you. can see here that we're actually getting the formation of a new range. We're going to wait to switch into regression maybe preemptively, but we do want to be on the lookout for that. Looks like we just got filled short there. Very interesting. You can see I'm looking at my output right now. Polarity dropped the minimum imbalance ratio very, very low there to get us to get a short fill. That's always interesting to see how that can happen. And it set adversary detection to over 45, which is very cool. Hey Barry, apologize for not getting back to you. I'll definitely check that email out again once I finish trading today. If we bounce off this low level there again with that green automatically derived zone, we are going to switch into regression. See here we did not bounce off that level, and we actually got the formation of a new bar, so that is not going to be our current plan. Looks like we just got filled short, and a very, very fast win on that trade. Looks like we just got filled long here. And hopefully we get a win that is just as quick. Almost got filled there. Very, very close. I'm surprised we didn't. Dang, all the way back down to our entry. Unfortunately there we lost that trade. Back down to 27.13. Scott Rops says, you seem to list the same polarity settings in the description every live stream, even though these settings have changed after trading. Do you reset these before enabling the strategy again the next day, or just use what remained from the last trading session? I just used what remained from the last trading session, but of course those are going to be continuously optimized, so I don't see a point in doing that. But thank you for the question. Hey David, you're saying that with 6A adversary detection to polarity, you're looking at the polarity settings adversary is not being changed, but imbalance and volume are being updated. By the way, we do want to I want to let you know that adversary detection is going to be continuously changed, but you might not see that in the strategy settings specifically. You're going to want to look at your NinjaTrader output, and you're going to see the change made there rather than in your strategy settings. Definitely going to be switching into aggression mode at this point, even though we haven't seen necessarily any entropy here. The formation of this red zone over here and price is approaching it. We're very, very likely to get some chop. Just got filled short here. And there we go, 31.59 on the day. Just got filled long here. There we go, 36.45. Yana is asking, do you ever hit exit by hitting close button, or are you waiting for your stop/target to get hit in order to continue optimizing while trading? So I do want to clear something up there. Hitting the close button is not going to stop the optimization. As long as you use the close button that's in your polarity panel and not the one at the top right hand of your screen. The one that's built into NinjaTrader is the incorrect one to use because that will disable your strategy. But if you use the close button that is below the arm both button, or in this case disarm both button, you won't have that issue. I almost never use it because I don't actually have a real reason to close trades early. I've just discovered statistically my strategy does much better when I don't have human intervention inside of that decision-making process. So that would be the case for that. But appreciate the question. Thank you. I feel like that was definitely the right call, switching into regression mode at that point. There we go, just got filled long. Unfortunately, there's going to be another loss for us. Pretty boring part of the market right now. Probably going to go for another 5 minutes and see if we can get another trade, and if not, we'll probably call it at 3,300. Just got filled short here. That's nice. Wow, talk about turning around there. Ended up losing that trade, actually. That's unfortunate. Sorry guys, no there's not very much commentary I can give at this point. Not a lot of mode switches that I've been doing. It's slowly making its way to where I won't have a job anymore because it'll do it for me, but we'll see if we get to that point. But it sure doesn't make for very entertaining YouTube content, that's for sure. Well, guys, I think I'm going to end up having to call it here for today. A little bit of a more tough day in terms of trading, but we ended up getting through it pretty decently, ending up with $3,000 of profit, which is not exactly our $5,000 profit target, but I will take it because it was a little bit of a tougher market to trade. We did just have that contract rollover, so about a third of the volume is actually missing. It's still in the December contract, so although that's not really going to affect price movement, it is going to affect the efficacy of order flow. So these times where there's that awkward transition phase where a still sizable amount of movement is happening on the old contract, it is a little bit weird. But anyway, guys, I do want to let you know that I am going to be taking the holidays off in terms of streaming. I'm leaving for a trip on the 17th or the 15th, sorry. And I'll be back on the 23rd. So won't be streaming all the way until Boxing Day or the 27th. So expect the next stream to be on the 27th of December. And it's likely that we will push an update from in between now and then, and I will also push out a video with an analysis on either this stream or a previous one. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys soon. Hope you have a wonderful holidays, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.